Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. As always, on a Friday, I'm joined by Mr. Chip Chirimbus of chipwins.com or the8play.com, whatever you prefer. Chipper is in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. Chipper, how are you today, my friend?
All right, Ross. Thank you very much. I'm following the sun out here. It is 84 degrees today in Las Vegas. Kind of a high for this time of the year, but still always a gorgeous day. Ross, what a great time of the year for us, though, really. We've got the NCAA playoffs, and baseball's looming. It's just right ahead, and that's always an exciting time. You know, in the East, where you are now and where I grew up, we were always locked in all winter, and the signs of spring were baseball, and everyone's attitude just picked up completely, and so I'm kind of happy they're playing right now. The NBA rolling along, and we got people that don't have to be vaccinated to play basketball now. Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that ironic? We were talking off air yesterday, and Chip's from the metropolitan New York area in Connecticut, but, right in the vicinity. Right. And I'm from the other side of the state in Western New York, but we both know how popular and what an iconic franchise the Yankees are. And I think the decision, the combination of decreasing and a declining virus, whatever you want to call it, taking place. You know what? It's awful ironic to me, right on the eve of the Yankees opening their season, that they made this ruling. So
maybe they picked up a center fielder, but it held back a little bit, but I don't think so.
Yeah, New
York is one of the last places. I mean, I've been in Florida and traveled around, and no one's there's no edict anywhere that you have to wear a mask except in New York City. And well, at least that I'm aware of, maybe in Toronto, but I'm not going up there to see the Maple Leafs.
or the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I look forward to baseball. I got some pretty good streaks going into the year. 42-23. I finished last year with my MLB 10-star top plays, which are equivalent of Chip's mega buck plays. But we're talking about basketball today, specifically about the Elite Eight. We'll have two selections for you on Saturday's Elite Eight matchups. And Chipper, a couple number ones went down last night in the Sweet 16. So this is a wide open field right now. Houston looked awfully good in disposing of Arizona. And then, we saw Gonzaga go down, and there was no fluke. Arkansas played a hell of a game. Yeah. And what's your take?
Well, as of right now, Kansas is the only number one left. And we had said a number of times during the season, we didn't think the field had a dominating team. We didn't think that anybody was a shoe-in or, you could really put a lock on anyone at all, that it was a wide open tournament. And it really has been. We got a 15, we got to have 11, 12, 13. I mean, it is wide open, and I don't think the Peacocks are going to make it too far from here, but Kansas in the driver's seat, the only number one left.
Yeah.
And, they've got they're playing Providence, of course, on Thursday night, and we'll see what happens there. Friday night, excuse me.
Yeah, out of all teams, I've crucified them all year. Kansas is the only number one seed left.
Yeah.
I could tell you this, folks, and I'm, if you don't know us by now, we're very transparent, and I believe that is the only way to operate in this business that prior to the last 5 or 6 years has been littered by phone salesmen and scam artists. But first time in my adult life that I go into the second day of the Sweet 16, and I don't have any Final Fours left on my bracket. I had Iowa, I had Kentucky, I had Gonzaga, and I had Arizona down. So, even us that we do this on a daily basis doesn't mean, and that's why I hate brackets too. I went against Arizona last night.
I haven't filled any out anywhere. Yeah. I did for myself, but I never committed myself to anything. And I had Arizona as well. I also had Kentucky advancing a little bit further than they did. Absolutely. And if we said it was wide open, and it was. So we're right about that. We should get credit for that.
Yeah. That's a good way to put a spin on it, Chipper. Anyway, Chip, you got a Sweet 16 or an Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
Yes.
For Saturday. Fill the
Yeah.
folks in, my man.
All right. Well, I hope this isn't, people think that it's a hate bet or I'm trying to get even with people here. But Arkansas comes in, they're playing Duke. Duke goes from an underdog against Texas Tech, which we didn't quite understand in the first place. Now they're favored, right? They're favored over Arkansas. And, this is an Arkansas team that held Gonzaga, the number one scoring team in the nation, 16 points below their average. They're 5-0 in their last five, Ross, as underdogs. And after a point spread win, they seem to get buoyed and gain a little confidence because they're 9-1-1 in those 11 games. And overall, these are great stats. They're 15-5-1 in the last 21. Meanwhile, Duke, we know Coach K, he's stepping down, and I have so many people telling me, don't bet against them. We got referees on our side. Don't bet them. The NCAA is right. I don't know about that. I thought that Texas Tech might come up big, and they didn't. And I'm going to think Arkansas might come up big for the same reason, and that would be defense. Or I'll say Arkansas has played some pretty good defense in the tournament so far. Duke has had a better overall defense all season long, but these playoff and NCAA record numbers for the Blue Devils are kind of frightening. Ross, 2-7 in the last 9 NCAA games, and 2-5 as favorites in the last 7 NCAA games. So the numbers say to go with Arkansas because of the trends and how hot they are right here. And, this is the tournament. And I don't want to say bad things happen, but shit happens. You know what I mean? So I can take Arkansas here. I really can. And that's the thing I'm using with you right now. I've given out pretty much games that I used on my service the last couple of weeks. I got beat with Michigan the last time out, but I used that as well. And but Arkansas is not going to be my best bet of the day, Ross, but it is a strong play for me right now.
That's Arkansas plus the 4 over the Duke Blue Devils from Mr. Chip Chirimbus of chipwins.com. You got a point, Chip. I mean, Arkansas, I don't know if they're as good defensively as Texas Tech is, but I know darn well they're better offensively.
Yeah.
And the disparity between the two defensively, I think is they more than make up for that with their better offense. So, they got guys who could take the ball to the hole. They got guys that could hit the 3. Texas Tech is pretty limited in what they could do offensively. They hang their hat on defense. And, unfortunately for the both of us who had Texas Tech last night, they had to lead right up until the last 3 minutes of the game.
They didn't convert a number of times when they gained offensive rebounds or a quick turnover. And those are key points to really sustaining yourself during the game, because I think with 2.5 minutes to go, Ross, or 2:56, whatever you had said, we had spoke about it. I think they all of a sudden realized they were in a game against Duke. They
let poise right down the stretch, Chip.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw, and give Duke credit. I mean, they made some big shots down the stretch. They executed perfectly in the waning moments of that game. They knocked down the majority of their free throws. I think they were like 5 out of 6 in the last minute of that game from the free throw line. So well-deserving win by Duke, and we move on. I'm going to take a look at the other game in the Elite Eight on Saturday, and that's the one between the Villanova Wildcats and the Houston Cougars. I'm going to take a look at the total here, and it's 128.5. And I'm not going to let that low total scare me from the pick I'm going to make, because both of these teams are mirror images of each other, the way I see it. Both are very disciplined. Both are tremendous defensively. Both play at a very slow pace as well. And when I say slow pace, it's how much time on average they take off the 30-second clock. And according to KenPom, both of these teams are among the most patient offensive teams in terms of tempo in college basketball. Houston, the last 2 games, they've shut down pretty good offensive teams, especially Arizona. They made Arizona look awfully ordinary yesterday. And that game wasn't even close when it comes down to it. And the bottom line is Villanova, I think what gets overlooked with the Wildcats is their ability to defend. And also, they don't beat themselves, Chip. And that's a key when you play Houston, because when Houston goes over this year, or when they put up in the 70s and 80s at times, it's when they could force the other team into 15, 20 turnovers. and generate some easy transition baskets. I don't think they're going to have that luxury in this game. And I think they're going to find out real quick if they try to press Villanova, they're going to call that off real fast, because I think Connor Gillespie of Villanova, in my opinion, right now is the best point guard in college basketball. So I'm going to go under the total of 128.5 in this game, Chipper. I see this game playing out in the high 50s, low 60s, or a combination of both.
You know, Ross, I think we spoke before we did the podcast, and I had said that was the one total that I gravitated toward. I liked it, and so I'm with you there. And you know, to mention about Houston's defense, which has been excellent all year.
Yeah,
they held Arizona to 25 points below their average. I mean, I was bragging about the other side, Arkansas holding Duke to holding 16. This team held Arizona to 25 below their average. So,
yeah, I mean, Villanova too. I mean, Chipper, their 3 NCAA tournament games, they've held opponents to 56.5 points per game and 33.7% shooting. I think that qualifies as very good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to use it for all of you out there right now as one of my totals, so you can know it.
There you go. So if you're watching this telecast right now, Chip Chirimbus is telling you what one of his pace selections are. And if you haven't followed Chip at chipwins.com or the aplay.com or any other of the major websites Chipper is on, you know darn well he does very, very well over the long haul. We all have our little bit of slumps. I'm in a little bit right now, a little bit of a funk. As you know, folks, and following us, when that happens, we respond in a very decisive manner. Chipper, speaking of your pay selections,
yes, sir.
Tell the folks how you've been doing and where they could find you again.
Last 7 weeks have been really incredible. You know, when we both turned the corner in the college basketball season, Ross, 36-17 now. I dropped the last one, of course. Not too happy about Texas Tech, but we have more in store Saturday and Sunday. Big games, big winners, big time of the year for us, and everything, the entire thing we've put together, Ross, in the whole regular season, evaluating teams here, and then it changes and it molds itself into what we have right now. And I love this time of the year, and I've always done well, and I'm looking forward to making some money for everyone out there. If you go to chipwins.com, you'll get my A play and only my A play. If you want more, you just follow up on the number that's there and give me a call. Thanks a lot, Ross, and it's a great pleasure every week. 36-17, folks.
Yes. Do the math. And that's not money line betting, or when we do give out the money line, either one of us in basketball, you're never going to get a play that exceeds -135. So we're not one of those guys that pads their records by using huge money line picks in basketball and, saying you're 60%, but you're down units in the process. So anyway, you could find me at rbwins.com or rossbenjaminsports.com. Folks, I'll have a 10-star top play up in the Elite 8 on Saturday. That will be on the side in that Villanova and Houston game. I'll also have my Elite 8 game of the year on Sunday. So I'm pretty sure I got who's pegged to play on Sunday. I'm just waiting for the results tonight. And if those results come in, I'm going to cash in big. rbwins.com. And again, Chipper, folks got to remember, baseball season is upon us.
Yeah.
Another 11 days or so, the season begins. I finished last year on a 43-24 run with my Major League Baseball 10-star top plays. Going back to 2019, my MLB money line 10-star top plays are 52-22 with my last 74, 69%. Folks, I don't give out any money line favorites that exceed 140 in baseball. So you're not going to get a big chalk player. Chip, you want to add anything? I know that you love Major League Baseball handicap.
Yeah, I really do. In a way, I'm waiting for the season to be delayed another week so I can have a little break and a little time between having to load 3 different sports on the same day, because it can be a little daunting at times. But when the beginning of the season starts, the only thing that bothers me is starting pitchers lasting 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you have to deal with.
you're like me. I think you're like me. I can't speak for you, but
Yeah.
I try to tread slowly at the beginning of every
Yeah.
season, with the exception of the NFL and college football.
Right.
But when it comes to baseball and basketball, I tread real slowly into. I want to see what I want some results. I want some data to go on, and that to me changes more every year in terms of what you're going to get in basketball and baseball as compared to football. I don't know how you feel about that.
I say, let's go Mets. That's what
At least you're not squeezing for the Marlins this year. Anyway.
Well, they signed they get rid of Mattingly because they won't sign anybody, and then they go out and sign one of the big all-stars in all of baseball at it. I mean, the MVP in the World Series. You go figure.
So this coming from Chip Chirimbus, whose favorite player in baseball is Gary Sanchez, now the Minnesota Twins. But until the next time, for Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless, folks.